Joining us now is Malou, and it's Baby Loves Sleep. That's the name of her company. Welcome. How are you, Malou?
Thank you, Donna. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation to come onto your show.
Where are you calling in from today? Where are you from?
Look, I'm normally based in Australia, but I happen to be visiting Corona del Mar and San Diego because I do have my warehouse showroom based in San Diego, and I just did the LA Prego Expo, so I'm here in your beautiful country.
Well, we welcome you. We're excited to have you here. Now, your product is extraordinary. It really does comfort the child. Tell us about its inception. How did you come up with this product, and what does it actually do? How does it swaddle that baby?
Yeah, so look, it all started with my second son. My first baby was a perfect sleeper from newborn all the way through, until his adult life. He's actually not an adult yet, he's just a teenager. But my second son, when he was born, he was quite the opposite to my firstborn. And, as a newborn, he did show the promise of good sleep, but sure enough, around 3 months onward, he started to, that broken sleep, the feeling of unsettledness, all that started to happen. And I actually thought there was something wrong with me as a mother. I thought of what was I not doing right. But his sleep issues is what led me to create my products, basically.
And the parents, parents have a lot of challenges because they come home with this baby, 6 pounds, 10 pounds, this little bundle of love, right? And then there's a lot of challenges because you're always like checking to see if they're breathing and are they eating enough? And, maybe they have jaundice and you have to put them in the sunlight. There's so many things about being a new parent. Tell us about your product and why it works.
Yeah, so yes, you're absolutely right, Donna. As a new mother, you're overwhelmed with so many things that you need to learn about your new bundle of joy. They're beautiful. There's so many emotions going on there, especially for the first child, let alone the second or third child, because every baby is different, as what happened with Mike in my case. Um, yeah, so some of the sleep challenges that can happen is that you get babies that from birth already are constantly unsettled because there's some other underlying issues that are going on, and sometimes that can affect their sleep. Some babies are born perfectly, in the sleep issue, in the sleep regard. They're born perfectly. They can actually sleep well, and then come 3 months, 4 months, they're faced with a sleep regression. This is where developmentally babies can actually have things going on inside them that they're developing, and it's growing pains. And sometimes these things can actually create, sleep disruption. And so as a parent, you don't know what's going on, because if your baby's crying and you don't understand when babies are crying, because that's their only way that they communicate with you. And, you're trying to figure out what's going on. So as with many parents, new parents, and, second and third time parents, you kind of through experience kind of navigate your way through this yourself. So with this baby, I basically, what happened with him was that he come to his third month, he was actually starting to break out of his swaddle, because when babies are born, you put them in a swaddle, and that's what gives them the comfort, because they're used to 9 months of being in your stomach. And they come out into the world, and suddenly they're faced with all this freedom. And so the swaddle gives them that comfort. Now, as babies grow and develop, they actually start to grow out of that swaddling, and also they start to roll. Now, as the AAP have recommended, that when babies start to roll, it actually becomes unsafe for them to swaddle. But babies are born with a startle reflex, and what happens is that if they're not swaddled, their startle reflex can actually disrupt them, and is what one of the causes for the wake ups. And so once your baby starts to roll and the AAP say you shouldn't be swaddling them anymore, suddenly your babies have got these arms out, and the freedom and the startle reflex are suddenly waking them up again. And so how do you give them that security and comfort without them, and continue the sleep? So the product that I had come out with was something that would allow them to still continue to feel the security, but also allow them the freedom of movement so that when they did roll, that they would still be safe. So that was the first product that I actually came up with. And I called that product Sleepy Hugs because it gave you that hug, that comfort and security while allowing your baby to sleep.
Now, on your website, you have a product line that somebody could go and they could order. And then if they have any questions, they could just, call your phone number, or they could send in an email for contact. What are the top 3 products of your line that you feel like every essential parent should have? Like, what should we buy at that baby shower we have to go to?
Yes, absolutely. So if you're pregnant or expecting a baby, you still haven't had your baby, the number one product that I would recommend from my website is my Koala Hugs newborn swaddle wrap. Now, the reason why this is an absolute game changer is because it's got inbuilt arm pockets. And so when you wrap your baby, because all maternity hospitals, they wrap your baby like a little burrito. When you wrap your baby, as a new mother, you're trying to figure out how, the technique of wrapping your baby perfectly. And that's the last thing that you have to try and remember, because you're learning everything else while you're still there at the hospital: how to breastfeed, how to care for your baby, how to bath your baby, and all of that. So that product with the arm pockets actually allows you to wrap your baby perfectly, removing the guesswork from swaddling. So that's number one. The
Okay,
second
number 2.
product that I would Yep. Number two, the second product is, again, my products are all progressional. So from the swaddle, as your baby grows to their 3rd or 4th month and they start to show signs of rolling, my second product would be the Sleepy Hugs sleep sack. This is the product that basically allows your baby to move around while still giving the same security that they have while swaddled. That's the second one.
And Malou, what is the 3rd product?
The third product would be my Sleepy Toddler Suit. So this Sleepy Toddler Suit is another game changer in that it's a onesie toddler suit, but it's an evolution from the Sleepy Hugs. What's so good about this is it does have front opening zippers so that your toddler, if they're learning to potty train or they're still in diapers, you can actually unzip without taking off the entire onesie suit, so that you can actually do their diaper change, or they can walk off to the toilet and have a little pee without taking off the entire suit, and they can still keep warm. So those are my top 3 products from my website.
I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your ingenuity and for sharing that with us. We have a lot of people on our team. They're all expecting parents. So thank you very much for joining us. And we wish you continued success on your journey. And I hope you have a great time in the States while you're here.
Thank you so much for having me, Donna. Yes, I'm having a blast here. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Take care, Malou. Be well. Bye-bye. For these great tips and more, please go to her website, Baby Loves Sleep.